It's been 2 months since we handed over the keys to our house that we owned for 4 years. No mortgage, no address, nothing to come back to. And if you've ever stood at the edge of a big decision and wondered whether you'd wake up regretting it, this is the part that rarely makes the cut. The honest after. Because here's what people keep waiting for, the part where I finally break and admit we made a huge mistake and want our old life back. They're still waiting. It never came. What came instead caught me completely off guard, and it wasn't sadness, and it sure wasn't regret. The biggest surprise of all of this is something I honestly would have rolled my eyes at a year ago. I'll get to that because it flipped how I see that beautiful house that we walked away from. But first, the thing I did not see coming. If you're watching this somewhere in the middle of a big decision or just circling one, I'm talking to you right now because everyone tells you about the leap, the part where you do the should we, shouldn't we. People rarely talk about the morning after, once it's all done and there's no undo button. That was the part I was actually scared of. Not the selling, the living with it, the day after. So that's the whole video, the after, the real one. I went and braced to talk about everything we lost. And I keep landing on what we gained instead, starting with the one that hit me first thing the next morning. I thought I was going to grieve that house. I really did. I'd braced for it. Instead, the morning after we handed over the keys, I woke up and just laid there, waiting for the weight to land. The panic, the what have we done? And what I felt instead was lighter. It took me a minute to even name it because I don't think I'd ever felt it before. For 20 years, there was always something running in the back of my mind, a mortgage, a dryer vent cleaning I still keep meaning to schedule, an HOA letter that says to tell me the exact minute our garbage cans are supposed to be off the curb, the lawn, the weeds that are always 2 steps ahead of you in the flower bed, that endless, quiet list a house needs from you, whether you've got the energy that week or not. And it all just stopped overnight. But nobody warns you that owning a home is like a second job you're never off the clock for. And the day you put it down, I didn't know how heavy it was until I wasn't carrying it anymore. And if you own a home right now, you might not even feel the weight of it. I didn't. It just felt like being an adult. You don't hear the fan that's been running for years until someone finally turns it off. Okay, the thing I teased at the top, the part that surprised me the most, and a year ago I would have rolled my eyes at so hard at myself for even saying it. We're more social now, living in a furnished apartment than we ever were in our own home. This place has a clubhouse. There's actually stuff going on. Cookouts, food trucks, social events, and we go. We have officially become clubhouse people, which was absolutely not on my list this year. And here's what got me. In that big house, the one everybody thinks we were nuts to give up, we were kind of on our own. To be honest, we only knew the neighbors on either side of us. Even then, we chatted if we happened to be outside at the exact same time, which wasn't often. We'd pull into the garage door would go down, and that was it. Just us and our space. I never would have called it lonely. It just felt like life. But I look at how we're living now, living smaller and somehow much fuller. And I have to be honest about that big house was for us. And maybe this is just us. I'm not saying your house is doing anything to you. But if your calendar is emptier than you'd ever admit to out loud, that was us. And I had no idea that the house was sort of part of it. Honest confession, I'm someone who's completely at ease being alone. I've always needed a push to get out the door. So the fact that I now actually want people, I seek it out in small doses. Let's not get crazy. It's a real breakthrough for me. If any of this is landing for you a little too close, sit with it. I wish someone had said it to me. And the part that gets me most about being around people, saying yes, being a little more open than is comfortable, that's the exact muscle we're going to need when we're out there, when we're accidentally training for the whole rest of our lives as full-time travelers. So back where we started, do we regret it? Here's the most honest answer I've got. I went into this brace to give things up, and we did. A mortgage, a lawn, a house I spent half my weekends keeping alive. But we did not give up our life. If anything, we finally started using it, because this is the life we almost didn't pick. We almost kept the old job, kept the old house, stay put, wait for someday to just show up on its own. And I keep thinking of people in my own family who did everything right and ran out of time before that someday ever came, who never got to the part they had been saving for. We were one decision away from being that one. And you might be closer to that same fork than you'd like to admit. Most people are, and they just never say it out loud. So no, I don't regret it. What I'm grateful for is that we asked the question while we still had time to answer it. Also, for the record, there's no lawn anymore. I have never in my life seen a man more at peace about anything. Steve sends his regards, and none of them are to the lawn. That's the after, our first chapter of it anyway. Because in a few months, Steve actually retires, and we stop talking about this life and start living it. The first real trip, full time, no house to come back to, on purpose. And if you're sitting at the start of a decision like this, still asking whether it's worth it, ask the question out loud while you still have time to answer it. That's the whole thing I've got for you. So tell me in the comments, is there a life you almost picked, or one you're still working up the nerve for? I read every single one, and I mean that. We'll see you in the next adventure, the one we've been pointing at this entire time, where the story will actually start.